Okay, so you should have your ears, your lips, your hair. One thing that wasn't mentioned, but we want to make sure to pay attention to it, is this upper lip area here, so we can just select that to activate it. Grab our tool here, we can try different colors with it, find something that we like, and we can turn it into a gradient if we want to. We're going to go up here, we're going to take the color that we just selected. You have to be in RGB or CYMK mode. If you're in HSB or grayscale, it's not going to work. So go to RGB mode, select and copy that because it's a color that we like, and I want to use it in my gradient. So I'm going to go ahead with another linear gradient. Because it was selected and copied, it's already here. I'm going to change this. Let's see. Oh, look, we got our swivel tool right away this time. Sometimes we have to be patient with it. Move it in. Let's take a look. They're going from kind of a red to a flesh tone. So let's try to get that swivel again. There we go. I'm going to change that yellow to kind of a red tone. We're a little bit pink. We want more red. Let's start from a red and see what we can do with it. Not bad. So go ahead and adjust it, get it to where you want it. And there's your gradient. Make it look the way that you want. And then we can lock off our ears, lock off our upper lip here. All of this is done. Lock the whole lip area. And we're ready to move on. Now we're going to copy and paste the hair shape and apply a center red, outer black gradient to it. So we're going to go with the hair layer. Activate it. Copy. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say paste in place. So that means that it's going to place it exactly where the copied one was. If I was to copy something in a different document, like one of these up here, and then come to this document and say paste in place, it would put it exactly where it is in the former document. In this case, it's in this same document, so it's going to put it exactly where it is in this document. So we can't even see it there, but we see that it's there. So we're going to apply a center red, outer black radial to the gradient. So we just want to work with this colored gradient now. We've already got a gradient. We can see it here. But we're going to change it to a radial. And we want to change the colors to red and black. Wow, that's kind of cool looking. But I'm going to stick with the instructions for now and make this red. There we go. Looks pretty good. Using the direct selection tool, hold down the Shift key and multi-select the points which form the spikes at the top of the hair. When you've got them all selected, delete them by pressing delete on the delete key. So we've got our spikes up here at the top of the hair, and we're going to get rid of them. This is the direct selection tool. You know our ordinary selection tool. This allows us to select just certain points instead of selecting the entire object. So we're here, we're selecting the entire thing. With this key, I can select specific points. Click anywhere, and it'll bring the points up for you. We're just going to select those top points. Shift click, again, and one more time, and then hit delete. So we've gotten rid of the spikes on this layer. We can see that we're keeping the blue ones. They aren't showing up here, but you don't need to delete them. So using the selection tool, select the original hair shape, then go to Object, Arrange, Bring to Front. So using the selection tool here, I'm going to go straight over here into my layers, find that blue layer, select it specifically, and I'm going to go to Object, Arrange, and bring forward, bring to front. There we go. So we've still got the spikes there. After this, arrange the new hair shape underneath it to form a shadow as shown below. So now I'm going to go in and specifically select that layer underneath. There we go. I'm going to lock the blue hair so I don't have to worry about moving it at the same time. And now I can just bring it down. I can move it back and forth, decide where I want the shadows to be. I think I want all the shadows on the inside, so I'm going to pull this one in. That looks pretty good. I'm going to save that. Lock it off for now, and let's see what's next. We're going to create a new layer in the Layers palette called Brush Strokes, and then draw the paths which will become the brush strokes around the outside of the face using the pen tool. So let's take a look. You can see some kind of paintbrush strokes here, just kind of going lazily around the edge, following the shape pretty good, allowing yourself to go out a little bit to be creative, maybe get narrower. They might not have even put, well, they did put a little bit here because it's not the shadow layer unless they had their shadow dragged out here. You can see with mine it's not. So I would need to outline here. If your shadow is out there, you might not need it. But then we come back and we outline this entire part. And it does not connect. So unlike a usual vector where we want to have a stroke and a fill, this is allowing you to work with strokes alone. So let's come over and get our tool and make a new layer for this so we can lock everything off and not worry about moving anything around. We want a stroke with no fill. And we're going to go right around the edge here. I'm going to end that one there, so I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to come up here and lock that. And I'm going to start a new one right here. Go around the ear. I'm not going to worry too much about those curves because I know I'm coming back to fix them. I'm going to end this one right here, so I'm going to hit escape, lock it off, and then I'm going to come back here to do this side. I'm going to double click there for a sharp edge. And I'm going to end it about here, so I'm going to hit escape. So you can see as I was drawing along, a lot of it seemed like it was going in weird spaces, but eventually Illustrator will kind of figure out which direction you're going as you move along. So you can see it really kind of fixed all of this for me. I didn't have to do much. Same here. This one needs a little adjusting, so I'm going to lock this one. I'm going to adjust this one a bit, so I need to unlock it. I'm going to click on it. I can tell I need to move this out a bit. Oh, it wants to catch me on the bottom there because I've got an open stroke. So you might have to keep hitting escape a few times here to get it to do what you want. Move things around, get as picky as you want. I think I'm going to double click and make this sharp. And that really fit the shape better all around. Hitting escape to get rid of that again. I'm going to lock that one. I want this one to be a little bit more precise right here. Hitting escape. And again. One more fix right here. Actually, I think I'm going to make that a sharp point. There we go. That looks great. So now I've got all my strokes all the way around. Okay, once you draw them all, you're going to select the bottom left and bottom right paths that you've drawn. Go to Brushes, Palette, select 10-point oval, and it will be applied to all the paths you selected. I'm going to select all my paths here. Oops, wrong key. So I'm going to Shift Select. I'm going to go to the Brushes palette and select 10-point oval. So if you remember, when you hover over, you can see different brush options. This one's going to be up at the top here. You can see some oval brushes here. So I'll start with the 12. I'll double click it, and then I can tell it that I want it to be specifically a 10-point. And there it is. I think I want that to be, all of that to be under the face. So here's my face. I'm going to drag it under there. That looks better. So once you've got it there, you can move things around. You can fill in these spaces if you want. You can make more space on this side, like you see here. Because it's all a stroke of a pen, all you have to do is turn that path back on, grab your tool, and move it. If you want, you can get a little more fancy. You can add the star in the eye and so forth. But here's your basic finished. Looks pretty good. Make sure you save it the way that Professor wants before you send it into the discussion. See you next time.